All right, guys, it's time to discuss what I'm buying this month. And there are some massive names on this list and some names that did not make this list that may make a few of you guys out there really mad at me. All I gotta say is at least hear me out, and then you can be mad at me after you see all my picks and why. So I'll give you all those stocks today and my reason behind why each one of those picks is on my list for this month. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth without the hype, because that's exactly what you're gonna get today with these stocks. Now remember, these are just the stocks that I'm targeting right now specifically. There are actually 18 different stocks on my watch list. There may be more than that now. I'm not real sure. Should have gone back and checked before I punch this in, before I press go. But there are a bunch of stocks on my watch list that I'm currently tracking, but they don't always fall close enough to my price targets for me to want to buy that month. Now, of course, they can fall into that. Absolutely. Sometimes they get above it. Then, of course, they get down below it. So stocks kind of come on and off this list all the time. So these aren't necessarily what I'm saying are the best stocks in the stock market to buy right now. These are the best stocks for me to buy according to my plan, according to my execution of that plan, and what I want to own in my portfolio. That's the perspective I'm looking from. And I'm also looking from a long-term buy and hold perspective. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not trading it, so I have no idea what the best trade is right now. I have no idea what's going to do best over the next 30 days or the next 2 weeks or any of the other stuff that's out there. This is simply stocks that I want to buy and hold for the long term. And right now, these are the ones that are closest to my price targets that I want to add to my particular portfolios that I'm adding these in. So stock number one is SoFi. Now, it is technically above my price target right now, but it's close enough to it that I'm absolutely looking to add more shares to this stock if it continues to go lower here over the next few weeks. Now, I was able to add a massive chunk of shares, and so were a lot of you guys out there, just in the $5 range. I don't remember what the price was, $5, the upper $5 range there during that kind of 2 weeks ago, kind of that freak out time that happened there where you got all kinds of stock. You know, you got Palantir at $20 and some change per share and some other stocks like that as well. But I got SoFi at that particular price, so I'm not in a huge hurry to jump on this stock. However, I feel like it is still undervalued from a valuation perspective, and I really, really like what the long term looks like for this stock. Now, I just put out to my group there for the masterminds kind of a bull and bear case, a full breakdown of the full bull and the full bear case, complete with a 2-year price target, how I got to that price target, how I got to the valuation, and all those other things of that nature are all in there. So if you're a mastermind, make sure you check that out. And if you're wanting to be a part of our mastermind, I'll talk about something here at the end of this video here. I may have something special for those of you guys that are interested. So make sure you stick around for that. But we got to jump into the next stock right now. And stock number two would be PayPal. Well, I think most of you guys knew this was going to be on my list, and despite the run up, it is still undervalued. Now, we played this game before, running up over 70 and then creating all the way back down to the low 60s or so. So I'm cautiously optimistic that we are finally moving in the right direction. Now, underneath, the fundamentals have absolutely improved. Remember, I don't care about share price nearly as much as I care about the fundamentals, because the stock price will always catch up to those fundamentals. And the best situation for a long-term buy and hold investor to be in is for the fundamentals of a company to get better, but the stock price stays beaten down or actually goes lower in some cases. That's what you got with all those incredible deals we've seen in the stock market over the past 2 or 3 years. Check out the video right up there. It'll actually lay out where there's incredible deal after incredible deal after incredible deal every single year in the stock market there. That's how that happens. The fundamentals get disconnected from the stock price. It happens all the time, both to the up and the downside, but it always corrects back to the fundamentals. And yes, I understand PayPal is frustrating. We call it PayPal in the group because it's frustrating. It's been beaten down for a long time, but the fundamentals continue to improve to where the run, whenever the fundamentals finally, or the stock price finally catches up to the fundamentals, is getting larger and larger and larger. And more importantly, you're able to build out a larger share count at a lower cost basis as the stock price stays depressed. And that's the exact situation you want to be in as a long-term buy and hold investor. So although I'm not going to add a lot of PayPal, there's not going to be huge buys in the stock. It's absolutely one that I'll probably add a few more shares on as we move forward here, because it's going to quickly get past my price target. And of course, hopefully go on that next run there if they continue to execute over the next couple of quarters. And so I want to make sure I have all the shares plus more shares of this stock. So stock number three is Google. Now, I don't know why everybody thinks they're behind in their space. I don't know why it seems like every 3 or 4 months, Wall Street wants to write the stock off for one reason or another. It is literally a different reason every single quarter, it seems like. In this quarter, it is, hey, the Department of Justice won a case against them. Okay, that's nice. If you understand how these things play out against big tech, they've won cases against big tech before. there's an appeal process, and it takes years to work through everything. And more importantly, nothing really seems to change in the end. Maybe they shift the business a little bit. Maybe they break off a piece here. Maybe they break off a piece here. But nothing really seems to change with big tech. It tends to be a whole lot of nothing in the end. So for me, I'm not really all that worried about this. I'm worried about the fundamentals of Google, which continue to get better. There's nobody better at ads than Google. You can make a case for Meta being the best, but they're basically, 1 and 1A up here and everybody else is down here. Those are just facts with Google. And I don't think Google is going to be smaller 5 years from now than they are today. And we have a very reasonable valuation because of the little bit of a beatdown it's gotten from the whole, Justice Department stuff. So for me, hey, time to add a few more shares to that position. Don't need any more. It's strictly a bonus share situation with Google, and I'm happy to do that. I'm just going to execute a simple DCA. If it dips down below 160 or so, I'll happily add more shares to Google there on the dip. Now, before we get to the last stock that we're going to talk about today, I need to address Tesla as well, because guys, it did not make the list, and I'll tell you the reason why. Now, last earnings, I felt like Tesla was trading rich coming into earnings, and unfortunately, because of the numbers, not my opinion, not Luke's opinion, not anything else like that, because of the numbers, the valuation actually went down, not up. Meaning even if the stock dipped after earnings, it was still overvalued from a valuation perspective. But yeah, it's trading really, really rich right now. And I don't think I'm going to get an opportunity this month to buy into the stock because I think it's going to continue to run into the robo-taxi event. Basically, kind of want another event to where the stock runs into it. And then once it's announced and everything's done and over with, the stock dumps afterwards. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I don't suspect it's going to dip before then, given kind of how the momentum is right now with Tesla stock. So I don't think I'm getting an opportunity to buy it right now. We'll wait and see what the next earnings is. This should be kind of a light at the end of the tunnel type earnings to where the Tesla should be able to directly, either this earnings or the next earnings, be able to directly guide to much better numbers, much improved margins, a lot of other things of that nature. So I'm looking forward to that. But for now, it's on a run the opposite direction there. I don't think it's going to get down to my price target to buy. That's why it's not on the list this time around. Now, I'm prepared if it does. You should always be prepared. Don't just use Luke's list and hey, don't focus on anything else. I got price targets for all the stocks that I want to buy, so that way I can execute in the event something happens and everything reverses. I am ready to go. That is part of being a prudent investor. So I suggest all you guys do that as well with every single stock you want to buy. If it's not close to your price target right now, hey, great. Make sure you keep that in mind so that way you are prepared whenever that time comes. And the last stock is Amazon. I know, guys, you guys are kind of looking at me like, what's the deal here, Luke? Amazon's not really on a dip. It's not really, doing anything out there spectacular. It's not a steal deal per se. It's nothing like that. What are you doing, Luke? Remember, guys, share count is what matters in the end. And when you have a time frame like right now where a lot of things are running really rich, in my opinion, I still need to deploy that cash. Now, I am stacking back more cash than I normally do because I don't see nearly as many great deals out there as I saw maybe just a month or two ago. That's okay. The stock market kind of ebbs and flows in this particular manner. And so in the meantime, I want to deploy some capital. And when I look out there, I kind of go, hey, I really like Amazon's valuation right now. It's not stupid cheap, but it's trading very, very reasonable right now. And share count is what matters in the end. If you feel like in 5 years, Amazon's going to be a vastly superior business to where it is today, which I don't think anybody thinks that's not going to be the case, then you want to own as many shares as possible at today's prices for that future price. Whenever it gets there, you'll have more shares to get yourself there. So for me, this one, I'm going to put on a simple DCA as well, and essentially buy more shares of this stock on a schedule until it kind of gets out of control again, gets back up over what I feel is fair valuation, maybe even running a little bit rich again, like Amazon always tends to do. Then I'll stop buying at that stage, but I don't see any reason not to just do a simple DCA and add a few shares of Amazon anytime we get a little bit of weakness in it. And that's kind of what I'm focusing on here over the next month, because share count is what matters in the end. And in order to understand share count, you have to understand valuation. You have to understand how to have a plan, how to do proper due diligence on a stock, start to finish. You got to know all that sort of stuff. And if you want a complete support system to help you out with that through courses, through live coaching in person, through live Q&As, through a Discord group that's absolutely there to help you every single step of the way. There's over 500 just videos about every single topic you can think of in regards to the stock market there. We have 5 courses you can take at your own pace completely for free. We have a stock analyzer tool you can use completely for free. The coaching in there is free for you as well. And there's so much more, guys. Like I kind of said, those of you guys that made it this far, I left something special down there for you. Check out the link down in the pinned comment down there. See what the pricing is there, because it is on sale for you guys, and see if a membership's right right for you and take advantage of it. You have to understand all those concepts on a very deep level. And why not have a team of investors helping you through all that? That's exactly what we're offering there. I guarantee you won't find anything, more information, more help, more coaching for that price than what we're offering down there. So make sure you check out the pinned comment and take advantage of it before the sale ends. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.